Two little girls decide to try their hand at communicating with the dead one afternoon in the woods. Want to take a guess how that works out for them? If you guessed a fun bonding experience, you'd be both right and wrong. They bond all right, just not with each other, and it's fun for the demon who takes possession of both. The Exorcist Believer. I'm trying to think, what was the last big-budget theatrical horror film that was as universally reviled as The Exorcist Believer? Let me know down in the comments below. The Exorcist Believer is a movie that was damned from the word go and only sank deeper and deeper into the abyss as it went. First off, it's an Exorcist sequel, and who wanted another one of those? Aside from Part 3, this series does not have a lot of bangers to its name. And in my opinion, unless your name is either Friedkin or Blatty, you got no business going there. On a side note, I did recently watch both seasons of the Exorcist television series. I very much liked both and recommend them. Then word of how much Universal spent to acquire the rights to make not one, but 3 Exorcist sequels got out. Now granted, this shouldn't be that big a deal, but let's just say the investment was steep. And again, who wanted more Exorcist sequels to begin with? Then it was announced that David Gordon Green and Danny McBride would be involved. McBride is a co-writer and David Gordon Green as the director. Both were fresh off of the Blumhouse Halloween trilogy, a trio of movies that were divisive, to say the least. Then word of extremely negative test screenings and extensive reshoots began to circulate, confirming that the movie may just be the train wreck that we were all kind of expecting it to be. Then the movie finally came out, and the fires of hell and abysmal reviews consumed it. And now, after having witnessed The Exorcist Believer for myself, I believe it ain't good. Now, there's no need to compare this movie to the original Exorcist or the second sequel, because those movies are in another league. In fact, they're playing an entirely different game altogether. The greatest sin Believer commits is that it's just boring. It's dull, it's bland, it's limp. There's no intensity, no sense of urgency, no tension or suspense. It's a slog of tired possession movie tropes and callbacks to the original film, which only reminded me of how much better that movie is. After the opening sequence, which tries and fails to emulate the opening of the original Exorcist, I forgot it was even an Exorcist movie. Then Ellen Burstyn showed up, reprising her role as Chris McNeil. Burstyn is there. She's an exposition machine, and that's about it. She did get paid well, though, so go her. Even the climactic double exorcism scene is a snooze. The sequence is cut 3 ways from Sunday in order to try and heighten things, but it just doesn't work. The problem is the demon isn't threatening. It didn't create a sense of menace or pose a serious threat. It was like the Temu version of Pazuzu. Granted, I knew the movie wouldn't be as extreme with its depictions of a possessed person as the original, but aside from some mildly foul language, this was possession light, like really watered down. The demon just had no presence. See what I did there? The only halfway interesting moment occurs in the final act, when the demon makes the families of the possessed girls choose. One will live, and one will die. On the bright side, and yes, there are a couple of high spots in the movie, the performances are all pretty good. Young Lydia Jewett and Olivia O'Neill in particular are strong, and the possessed makeup effects from Christopher Nelson look great. Look, I don't like bashing movies. I know they're a miracle to get made, and that a lot of people work very hard to make even the worst movies a reality. And technically, Believer is sound. The performances, the production and sound design, the cinematography, the makeup effects are all fantastic. But from a narrative point of view, it's so lacking. Even if it weren't an Exorcist movie, it'd be no different. Well, if it weren't an Exorcist movie, I think a lot of people wouldn't have cared. It would have came and went and been written off as just another possession movie inspired by The Exorcist. The fact that it wears the title of The Exorcist, and it is the way that it is, just makes its sins all the more egregious. So yeah, The Exorcist Believer. I'm sure by this time next week I'll have forgotten most of it. Thank God for small mercies. As for this collector's edition 4K and Blu-ray release from Universal, I thought both the picture quality and the sound quality were fantastic. The 4K picture quality highlights the finer details of Nelson's makeup effects and the production design. and the audio quality perfectly complements the sound design and the score. I give both the picture quality and the sound quality on this release a 4 out of 5. As far as extras are concerned, first up we have Making a Believer. It's 8 minutes and 45 seconds in length. It includes interviews with Jason Blum, David Gordon Green, Leslie Odom Jr., Ellen Burstyn, David Robinson, Ann Dowd, Christopher Nelson, Olivia O'Neill, Lydia Jewett, and more. It includes behind-the-scenes footage, stories from the set, footage that's not in the final cut, and more. Next, we have Ellen and Linda Reunited. It's 4 minutes and 32 seconds in length. It includes interviews with Jason Blum, David Gordon Green, Linda Blair, and Ellen Burstyn. They discuss shooting the scene in which the two were reunited. By the way, 4 minutes and 32 seconds is about 4 minutes and 25 seconds longer than the actual scene itself. Next, we have Stages of Possession. It's 6 minutes and 3 seconds in length. It includes interviews with Lydia Jewett, Olivia O'Neill, David Gordon Green, Christopher Nelson, and more. They discuss the different makeup effects that charted the girls' stages of possession. We also get to see the demon that is responsible for possessing both of them and the makeup design for that demon. We only get to see very brief glimpses of it in the movie. I'm not sure why it was cut out. It looked okay. It looked okay. There's photos of it online if you want to look it up. If you do, let me know what your thoughts are on that demon in the comments. Next, we have The Opening. It's 6 minutes and 18 seconds in length. It includes interviews with David Gordon Green, Leslie Odom Jr., Jason Blum, Stephanie Elaine, Tim Alverson, and more. They discuss how they attempted to create an opening similar to the opening of the original Exorcist. Next, we have Editing an Exorcism. It's 4 minutes and 34 seconds in length. It includes interviews with David Gordon Green, Tim Alverson, Jennifer Nettles, Ann Dowd, Lydia Jewett, Olivia O'Neill, and more. They discuss shooting and editing the climactic double exorcism scene. Next, we have Matters of Faith. It's 4 minutes and 24 seconds in length. It includes interviews with Ellen Burstyn, David Gordon Green, Dr. David Ball, Father Morris, and more. They discuss exorcism, rituals across various religions, and wanting to get the religious aspects of the film to feel authentic. And we also get an audio commentary with David Gordon Green, Ryan Turek, Peter Sattler, and Christopher Nelson. This is a really nice collector's edition 4K and Blu-ray release for The Exorcist Believer from Universal. Let me know your thoughts on The Exorcist Believer down in the comments section below, and let me know where you would rank it among the Exorcist movies. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up and share it on social media. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope everybody out there is having a great, safe, healthy, and happy holiday season. Take care, and until next time, peace. A huge thank you to all my patrons and channel members for your generosity and support. Become a patron today and get early access to videos, have a say in what content appears on my channel, join me for monthly live streams, exclusive watch parties, and more. Become a channel member today and get access to exclusive badges and emotes to use when I stream, as well as members-only watch parties. Both those links are in the description. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.